Good evening, parents. Welcome in. So, if you're a parent and you have a 9 month or a 10 month or 11-month-old baby who's still not sitting, and you're searching around trying to find some solutions and trying to figure out why it is that your baby is that old and still not able to sit, then you're in the right place watching the right video. If you're new to the channel, my name is Cherrick Gordon. I've been a pediatric physical therapist for over 25 years. I show parents just like you how to use simple touch and movement to not only make your baby stronger, but smarter. In today's live, we're going to do a deep dive into 3 different things that you can use to help your baby improve their core trunk strength and stability, improve their dynamic balance, and also work on some vestibular integration and vestibular stimulation to be able to help your baby to not only stay static in one position in sitting, but also be able to move into and out of sitting in a much more fluid and dynamic way. So let's get into it. First thing you want to start working on is core trunk strength and stability. And so we can start off with a simple activity like this one here, where you have your baby in the seated position and begin to, in the seated position with baby in between your legs. So let's say you're starting off like this. You put baby to sit on the ground facing away from you. Have baby sit in between your legs. The dog is optional. You don't necessarily need the dog. I like to give baby a toy like this cube, which is at about 5 to 6 inches high. It's the perfect height for a young baby to be able to sit and start playing around while they are working in that position. Now, the reason I have parents put their baby to sit in between their legs is so that if baby loses their balance and baby begins to fall, baby will fall backwards onto your body or fall to either side. So this will be the first kind of more of a basic activity that you can do for your baby who's working on improving their sitting balance.
Ready?
What you do is you start off high around baby's trunk and then work your hands down until you have your hands, like I'm showing you right now, at baby's legs. And you can see I'm holding his legs and I'm making him responsible for his entire upper body. And he is using the cube to give him a little bit of extra stability and extra support as he's trying to play with it. You can see his body is moving back and forth, and I'm allowing him to do that. As I press down on his legs, his trunk muscles will kick in, his abdominal muscles will kick in, and bring his body back up into the seated position so that he can go ahead and maintain his balance. He's using the cube to actually press down on the cube with his hands to help him to maintain his balance. It is a very fluid and dynamic kind of play that I want you to do with your child, with your baby, to be able to work on that dynamic balance and think of it as movement rather than just being in one static position and sitting still. Your baby needs to go beyond being able to sit perfectly still in sitting. Your baby needs to be able to move around and play while they're seated and be able to maintain their balance. And so I'm giving him that opportunity and a lot of support. Like right now, I'm really holding his legs down and I'm letting him play around and hold up his own upper body so that he can start to develop those trunk muscles, those side trunk muscles, his abdominal muscles, his intercostal muscles in the sides in between his ribs. These are the muscles that he's going to need to be able to sit up long term and be able to move into and out of the sitting position. So that's the first activity. The next activity that I would recommend for parents working on their baby sitting is put your baby in what's called sideline. Now, if you lay on the ground in front of your baby, roll your baby onto their side, you can see what's beginning to happen right away when I put this baby onto his side. He is lifting his head up to be able to engage with me and lift his face up to kind of match my movements. This works the side muscles in a way that's often overlooked. And you can see that I am talking to him, and I have him down on the
Here,
ground.
we're
I'm
going to do
giving him
one
some
more last one, and
support
then
at his
we'll switch
hips.
side.
I'm
Ready?
cueing him to be able to lift his head up using his side
Now,
muscles, using his
maybe
neck
not.
muscles.
Maybe we did what we were going to
Obviously,
do.
this is
Yeah.
going to take some work. You might have a baby
Mm.
that's just kind of lay there for a little bit looking at you, but from time
Yeah.
to time, they will try to
You
lift
ready to
that
come
head
up?
up to
Bring it
make
up.
eye
One more
contact with
time.
you. And if
No.
you model lifting
No.
your
One
head
more.
up, you will be able to cue
Let's do the
baby
other side.
to get up
Let's
into this
switch.
position.
Let's switch.
A tip about
Let's
this
switch.
activity, you want to do it in both directions. So roll over onto the other side, put baby onto his other
Yeah.
side, and then go ahead and cue him to see if you can get your baby to do this
Yeah.
same move, but on the opposite side.
Ready?
So here I'm rolling
On
him
your side.
onto his left
Go.
side, and now I'm going to
Boop.
cue him to
Ready?
lift that head up on the left side. I'm giving him support at his left hip so that he can lift his head up.
Hold my hand.
Obviously, this doesn't
Bring it up.
happen
Bring the head
right
up.
away, or it might
Bring the
not
head up.
happen in the
Whoa.
beginning,
Bring
but
the
it
head up.
will eventually
You can
happen.
do it.
If you keep on
Whoa.
practicing, there he goes. That was a good one. Another activity for babies who are struggling with sitting is to work on your core trunk strength and core stability. So, a core exercise that I like to do
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
weight shifting on a large exercise ball.
No mas.
So you can see what I'm doing here with this baby. I'm bouncing her up and down
No mas.
gently, trying to
No.
have her relax.
Oh.
And you can see I let her collapse. And what I'm doing is I'm rocking her front to back. That's giving her some vestibular stimulation. She does not particularly care for this, so I'm kind of doing it quickly. And now you see me holding down her legs, and I'm really letting her trunk do the work for her to come back up into the seated position. Obviously, if your baby does not like this kind of activity and your baby has low muscle tone, you may only be able to get one sit up at a time out of your baby, but that is totally fine. We can continue to build on that. This isn't about what your baby can do on day one, this is about making progress over time. Another activity that I like to do, continuing along with this core trunk strength and stability and vestibular stimulation, is just doing a lot of trunk work where you can see I have this baby on a large ball. I'm talking to her. You notice the way her head kind of goes back. So I'm also working on some head control, her being able to control her head a little bit better as she's bringing it up. Now you'll notice what I'm doing here. I am moving her body, shifting her body side to side under her. So I'm doing a weight shift under her and have her pelvis moving around. I'm making like kind of a small circle on the ball, and I'm cueing her to maintain her balance. And as she gets stronger and better at this, she will be able to maintain her balance and reach outside of her base of support while she is playing around. You can see I have her kind of trapped halfway. You can see the neck she gets tired and the neck, she kind of loses control of the neck. I'd like her to be able to hold that neck up a little bit better. Every now and again, it's good to give baby a little break, do some bouncing, and just relax, have some fun with it. You can see I'm not treating this like, oh my goodness, we are a the gym and she needs to crack out 10 sit-ups. These type of activities should be playful. They should be fun for baby. If you do 4 or 5 sit-ups and that is it, and baby can't do anymore, that is perfect for one little play session or one little workout session. And then as your baby gets stronger and stronger, you continue to increase the amount of reps that you do. You can break this up into different sessions where you might do like a morning after baby has had her diaper change, has eaten and taken a little break, her food is digested. You can then do an activity like this in the morning and then do an afternoon activity where you have baby working on her core and just being able to get those skills and build that core trunk strength. So that is definitely a fun activity that you can do with your baby
One more.
and
Yeah.
help your babies to develop
Ta-da.
their sitting
Hey,
skills
boo.
and their sitting
All the way
balance
down. All the way
by
down. All the way. All the way. Don't
incorporating
crack.
their core trunk
Up, up,
strength,
up.
their
Yes. Good
challenging their
job.
vestibular
Let's do high
system,
five.
and
High
working on
five.
some
Very
dynamic
good.
balance. And
Ta-da.
you want to
Ready? Wait.
incorporate
Sit.
all of these and be doing
One.
them kind of
Uh-oh.
simultaneously as you're
Two.
moving forward, working with your little one,
Three.
doing the activities that you want
Four.
to do. A lot of times I'll find that
Five.
babies have a weak core.
Six.
And so activities like this specifically target baby's core muscles and helps baby to be able
Okay.
to move
Time.
through their
Get down.
developmental stages
Thank you.
faster.
That was good.
Another activity that I
Again,
like to
again,
do for
again.
babies who have a bit of a weak core is to have baby and just put baby in standing. Now you're going to see what's going to happen with this baby, and this is a really
Go.
important point.
Got you.
If your baby has
One,
a weak core,
two,
then their sitting balance will be affected. So, what I did with this baby is I have him in standing and I'm just letting him hold my hands in standing. Now, if you look at his core and you look at what's happening, your baby should be able to stand at about 9, 10, 12 months and not have all of this back and forth movement. Now, if you can give your
this
baby
is
some
something you can
external
start doing with
support
him.
and stability at the hands,
Yeah.
baby will be able to stand and just move around in this position. And this is a fantastic way to do some core trunk exercises while working on some weight bearing in the standing position. So this is an activity that you can definitely incorporate for your little one. Let me get that out of the way so that you can see it. You can see that he is really working his core muscles. And he's also working his leg muscles, he's working his hip muscles. And I am really trying to not give him a lot of support in standing. I'm trying to get him to actually stand and bear his weight on his legs and move that trunk around as he needs to so that he can find his own stability and his body, his core trunk muscles, his hip muscles can begin to develop that stability. Now you'll notice what I'm doing here. I have my hands on his shoulders. I'm actually pushing downwards
So
on him a
what I
little
was
bit
saying while
to
you were
see if I
doing the
can
dishes
cue him
is one
to
way you can work on
straighten
him
those legs
improving his
and
stability when he's
bear
standing
some extra
is
body weight on
stand.
his
Put him to
body,
stand.
on his
Just
legs,
hold, let him
and
hold on
still
to your
keep his
fingers
trunk in
and just
midline.
bear his
The
weight.
babies
Now
who
you
have a
notice
weak core,
just now
who are
he's doing a
struggling with
lot
their
more like his
sitting
body
balance and
is
are
just
always
rocking
toppling
front to
over
back. You
whenever
see
you
it
put them
still
to
kind of
sit, you
moving
feel like
around.
your
Try
heart
to
is in
get,
your
are you trying to
throat and
get
you
out
need
of
to
it?
watch
I
them
think you're
all the
trying to stay
time.
out.
If you put
Yeah,
the
you
baby
can.
to
You see the way his
stand like
hips are
this,
kind of
you
moving
will
all over the
notice this
place? Yeah.
kind of
That should be
excessive
starting to
movement
get more
where baby
stable.
does
You
not
want to
seem to
see
be
that
able to
getting
stand
more
and hold their body
consistent where he
still.
should be able to
At this
just
age,
stand
a
there
baby
and
who's
just
9 months,
hold
10
his
months, 11 months,
body
12 months
upright.
should be able
Just
to
holding on to
stand
my
and
hands.
bear their
I'm
body
trying
weight
to
in
not
standing
give him
without
too
their
much
trunk
support, but
moving
I want
all
him to
over
start
the place back and
stabilizing
forth.
his core.
And so
Yeah.
just standing in this
Oh.
position or putting your baby to stand in this position
Still kind of
and letting
leans
him
into the
bear his
hands that the
weight
hands are
and just
now
move
his
front to
control.
back and
You
side to
see the way he
side
got
is
him
a
as we lean
fantastic
forward.
activity
And now I
to
have to kind of
work
figure
on
out a way to get my
dynamic
hands
sitting
away from
balance
his trunk. You
and being
ready?
able to improve
Mm-hmm.
that core trunk
Go.
strength
Go.
and
All right.
stability.
Yeah.
I told you that we would also
Put yourself
work
together,
on
my friend.
vestibular stimulation. And here's
Go.
a surprising activity that you might not be connecting with vestibular stimulation, and that is rocking your baby on your hands and knees. Now, whenever you're moving baby around in space, their vestibular system is working. The vestibular system is this semicircular set of canals in baby's inner ear that tells baby where their head is in space and helps baby to orient themselves to the room. So if baby is on their hands and knees and they're rocking, baby is doing a bunch of different activities all at the same time. You're getting some core trunk strengthening and stability, you're also getting some strengthening exercises going through the arm, strengthening baby's chest, but you're also getting that vestibular stimulation where baby is moving around and orienting themselves to the room, trying to keep that little head up. You can also pick baby up and tilt baby side to side in different positions and look for that head riding reflex to go ahead and kick in. So those are a couple of different exercises that you can do for your little one to help your baby to be able to improve their sitting balance and be able to start moving and transitioning into and out of the sitting position. If you found value in this video, definitely drop a like with that baby soft touch on that like button and subscribe to the channel. And feel free to share this video with other parents who you feel like their baby is struggling with sitting balance and they might get some tips as well. In addition, if parents like this video, YouTube will push it out to more parents so that people can see videos like this and we can all help our babies together. All right. I will talk to you in the next video, my friends. Take care. I will speak to you tomorrow. Good night.